this. Is there anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
Hold on. Okay.
I'm muted, y'all. You can hear me now, can you?
Yeah, we
Can
can.
you see me?
Yes, we can.
All right, great. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. I'm your host, Jedi Mike 7, with my co-host Jay King on our Monday edition of the show. Jay King, how you doing?
Doing good. You guys can hear me, right? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
we can hear
test these out. Yeah, I'm trying to test these out. All right, we're good.
Cool. Yeah, so I know we're going to be covering a few topics on the Saturday show, but today going to be a very special show. We just got to cover about a few things before we get into the big one of the finale for tomorrow for AHSOKA. It's going to be coming out tomorrow around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for y'all, and that'll be the conclusion, at least season 1, or if there will be a season 2, we don't know, of AHSOKA. Before we get to that, Jay King was not here on Saturday, but we want to talk about this other show now. We're going to have a more deep dive discussion about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of The Boys, if you guys have not already known. And I had to say that I had the privilege of watching, at this point, I watched the first 4 episodes of Gen V. The first 3 episodes dropped last Thursday, late last Thursday. And I have some thoughts on it. And you see there's been a score on Rotten Tomatoes of it being 100%. Might have gotten down since the last time we spoke, whatever, but I don't think so. Not by much. I can say this show hits in all cylinders. I did a review on shout out to Team JBS. If you see that, I basically they were asking me, do you think this is the best superhero show going on right now? And I gotta say, like The Boys, it was a top for a reason. This show is hitting all cylinders. If you are a young adult and you're in college and you like superheroes, and you are of age, obviously, this show is for you. This show is for you. I say in a long time, I don't know if I ever actually seen a show or a movie that actually tackle young adults in a very unique way in terms of what they're going through in terms of mental health and things like that, and what the way that they're able to capture that with these characters. There's all different archetypes in here. There's a character that at least that in some form or fashion you are attached to, or you know someone that's gone through these similar situations, right? And I think that for me, someone who just graduated college, someone who's still in college, that this hit home for me. And I watched this with my wife. Shout out to my wife, my production manager. Shout out to her. Yeah, she actually loved the show. She's really eager to see the next episode, but she had to understand patience is virtue. But before we get into it, we're gonna go in all spoiler discussion and give you guys enough time to actually watch these 3 episodes. Episode 4 will drop on Thursday or Friday this week, along with another show, which we'll get into. But I just want to check with you, J. King. What was your thoughts on Gen V?
Yeah, I have to 100% agree with you in the thoughts of Gen V. The first 3 episodes, again, I've only seen first 3. You've seen first 4. I've seen first 3. Just grabbed me from the moment the show started. I am thoroughly enjoying this. I am thoroughly enjoying what they are doing with these characters. Because again, this is in the boys' universe, but it is almost, well, it's definitely got the tropes that we know of from the boys, but more targeted towards that young adult audience who are still in college or maybe had just graduated or not. But basically, it is tackling the type of stories that, it's the boys' universe. It's a whole bunch of superheroes, but still very much what, the young 18 to 20 something year olds would be dealing with at the time. And also, besides that, the show is just really good to look at. The cast are doing a fantastic job so far. And there have been a lot of moments that I was just like, wait, what? I thought that character was gonna I thought that character was gonna be in here a little more longer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I will say again with this show, just like with the boys, this show has mystery, it has character development, it has shock value. Definitely all the entity of what the boys is, but uh, it also goes into terms of a different level, like where these are obscure characters, and even some of them don't really have any type of comic history
Mm-hmm.
with the boys, unlike with the main proper show. But again, you still are attached to these characters the moment you see them, and each and every single one of them. I don't think there was a character that I did not like that I felt like, okay, this is I've seen this before, or have I actually gone through this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to. I know, Jicky, want to recap just generally just what who like what we got introduced to the show, some of the characters and everything.
I mean, basically, we get introduced to our main protagonist of this series a little bit. Well, first got introduced to how she found out about her powers, which Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
happening around the same time A Train joined the boys in the first place, which of course predates the series from season 1 of the boys.
Hmm.
But like for the most part, we see how she developed her powers, which again, dear God, but also kind of harkens back a little bit to the first X-Men movie if you think about it with,
Like Rogue.
about. Yeah, I was thinking that. But, for the most part, I have to say there's a lot of characters that I really am enjoying so far within this. First being her, second being the 2 Jordan Lees, and then the third being our
Yes.
tiny termite. Um, but yeah, like I'm just so ready to get into episode 4. Again, it's the boys universe, it goes off the wall, but the fact that this is for the most part an original story that we even got teased at, like thinking about this, yeah, we got teased back at this like back in season 3, and I didn't even realize it, so I looked back, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, there was Easter eggs of certain characters that were actually they were shown. Even the actors were shown on like computer screens and everything. We just didn't see them. So if you remember, I know my wife is watching. If you remember when they had to do some investigation, Huey and Starlight with the during the boys season 3, and they actually went to that same facility or orphanage where all the soup kids were, because they were saying they're trying to find someone to adopt and everything like that. But what they were trying to understand, what's her name? Not Stairwell, the pophead lady, her origin, whatever, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
trying to find somebody. But yeah, as she's going through this database, you see this black woman right here, who's the main character of the show, Marie, who was 17 at the time, but now she's 18, in the show. Oh, I didn't show the screen. My bad. Right here.
Yeah, right there. Like we saw that back in season 3. Like again, around the same time that they were also finding that other facility that they mentioned in episode 1, which is where a certain character was also at.
Yeah, certain facilities and everything we've seen previously before. One thing, I really shout out to the show is then just the world building that they have. Again, even though the beginning of the show starts out about like 8 years later when A Train is getting into the 7. But again, I liked how it's funny when Sarah will say we live in a post-racist society.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
The first black man in the 7. Not true.
Nope.
Yeah. With that, I think I liked again that even though this is not The Boys season 4, you still understand what's going on in the world of The Boys. Thought is in every ounce and every factor in orphanage, hospitals, TV shows, amusement parks, and everything, i.e. Disney. But
from such shows such as Riverdale, Pretty Little Liars, and
yeah. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but for me, like I was getting this show, like I'm old enough to remember this, but I was getting Sky High feels with it. In terms of like, me and my dad really enjoyed that film even when I was a kid. But now it's like seeing it from a school of tackling with young adults or young kids with with superpowers and stuff like that. Yes, we've seen that archetype before with X-Men and anything like that. But again, it's still also an offshoot off of the Boys comics with certain teams. Like there's certain derivatives of certain characters. Like the 7 is a rip off of the Justice League. Payback is a ripoff of the Avengers, stuff like that, right? So you see this is a team which is basically a ripoff of the X-Men. I forgot what the team is called, the V team or G team, the G-Men,
something like that. But yeah, basically this is their X-Men equivalent, just on a different scale, not like private, school for mutants, more of a public high school owned by Vought.
Yeah, and again, I appreciate the show what they were trying to do. Like you have multiple different characters having their, in terms of their motivations going to school. For one, you have Marie, who is orphan, trying to get into this school, just trying to make it some for herself, but there's a deeper meaning, not because she wants to get to the 7, be the first black woman in the 7, but like she wants to actually prove to her sister that when she actually killed her parents, and when she got her period, which is crazy. Like I was watching it, everybody. Like I was watching all this at work, right? And it's like I had it on my phone. I'm looking down, and now I started seeing. I was like, "Wow," yeah. So, but yeah, and then we fast forward into present day, and now she finally getting into the school, Kadokan University, which I don't know. That was shout out to Dragon Ball Z or whatever, but.
No, I think it was if I remember correctly, I think someone said that it was named after one of the producers of of both Gen V and The Boys. That's where the name came from, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, and then you basically get the person who's like the dean of the university. Which shout out to this character here. If you guys don't know who he is, the actor, I forgot his name. But he is
Clancy Brown.
The character's name is Brink. But the actor, he is tied to a lot of our childhood. He voiced Lex Luthor in the animated series and Superman animated series, Justice League animated, cartoons, all that stuff. He's been in the superhero realm for a very long time. He voiced Grodd.
Don't forget. He wants your money.
Wait, what?
Mr. Krabs.
Oh yeah, he voiced Mr. Krabs. Yeah, he voiced Mr. Krabs. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
And he was recently in Ahsoka as well, and Rebels.
Yeah, and he voiced the character in Rebels as well. So he's been everywhere. He did getting paid. But the main character we're following, in the show, her name Marie, and yeah, so basically her powers is that she basically able to use her blood as some type of, or blood bending, I guess you can say, which is forbidden, right? She is basically a character where she's more closed off, and she's more trying to push people away because she's not trying to screw things up, and she's trying to make it, being driven and trying to making selfish decisions, but for rightfully so, because she wants to actually prove to her, to herself, prove to other people, that she's not a monster like the way she was when she was a kid, or the accident that happened. But then we get into this university and we see all different types of superheroes, right? Or power characters, right? And when we walk in, we see, a couple different kids here. I'm trying to get let me find where is it? We get, the main guy who's the jock or the number one student, called Golden Boy. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Who is also a Schwarzenegger and a Kennedy all in one.
Yeah, that
Um,
surprised me when I realized who that was. I was like, wait, that's Arnie's kid?
yeah, that's him. Yeah, right here. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Boy.
aka Golden Boy.
Who is a ripoff of Human Torch. But yeah, but yeah, he represents the jock or the A student and everything. And then the whole way is that for them to get to a 7, not just that they have good grades or whatever. It's like it's a popularity contest.
Need to be in the top 10.
Yeah, your social media following, all the stuff like that VOT and the 7 is all about and everything. And the whole thing is about, okay, now we got some openings in the 7 because Starlight left and Maeve is presumed dead. We know she's alive. But
don't forget Black Noir as well.
Yeah, Black Noir. So now we need some new people. So there definitely are well actually not I have some set photos seeing that he's still there. Someone is in Black Noir suit, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably find it. Set photos from season 4. Yeah, Black Noir is in season 5 or season 4. Right here. So he's not dead or somebody, whatever.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling, but okay.
Let me find a photo season 4. Set photos. Where is it? Boom, right there. Gotcha. In HD, right here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, right here. He's still alive, right here. Boom. Yep, that's season 4 of the boys. You see the Deep, you see A-Train, Homelander. You see 2 new characters, I guess, who can be part of the 7. I don't know who these characters are, but you do see a black woman there, but it's not Marie. So what's up with there? I know she's still a freshman, but hey, there's someone beat you to it. But anyway, spoilers. But yeah. So Black Noir's there. But anyway.
Either a new one or somehow the old one got revived.
Somehow, whatever. But yeah, as we get into in terms of the rest of the episode, we meet other new characters. I keep forgetting her name. We meet the Schwarzenegger, that's Luke. Then we meet the other guy who's like Magneto. He controls metal. I call him Magneto. Because he's black. Andre.
I knew you were going to.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him. What's his name? Yeah, Andre, who controls metal and stuff like that. We get Luke's girlfriend, Maddie. Kate.
Kate, yeah, who has the power to control, basically to make people do what she wants.
Yeah, which is like a rogue, but mind control. She has to touch people. And then we get Jordan, which
is played by 2 different actors.
Yes, which okay. I think the beauty of this show, because I know we get claims, things about being, agendas and messaging and all stuff and wokeness of it all, right? But regardless of that, I have to shout to the beauty of this show because we get this character Jordan, who is who is transgender, but it's a unique thing about it. He actually plays, or she, or they actually play 2 characters, but they're the same person. And the thing is like a hybrid of Wonder Twins, but they're the same person, which I think that's actually fantastic.
And of course, as we find out, thanks to Compound V, was originally a boy, but then with the powers came turning into a girl.
Yeah, and they the name Jordan is also unisex in itself, so it's like it's
so it's like you won't get confused. It's literally like not that difficult.
Yeah, but I like shout out to like the concept of it is like so out of this world to me, but then it's like that's genius.
Mhm.
That's actually like a genius. Where I'm like, I applaud you for doing that because like, okay, you can understand about messaging or whatever and all that stuff like that, but this is literally the same person, and that's the whole point of at least the the messaging of transgenderism and everything like that, right? But I like the approach again what they were doing because they also have different powers when they change when they change different sex.
Yeah, I believe the male one's invulnerable, and then the female one is I think has like some sort of like some type of like seismic or energy like power, basically.
Yeah, something like Invisible Woman, like projectile energy, but not like, but it's like invisible, whatever. But
Yeah,
nothing
and
really
they easily shift between the other when need be, which that's a good power right there. And also, I just gotta say, episode 3, my favorite episode with them, and made them like my first or second favorite character out of this bunch.
Who's your favorite? Jordan?
Like either first or second, it's Jordan, and then it's our main character. I'm forgetting the name right now.
Murray.
Thank you. But yeah, top 2 characters for me right now.
Yeah, and then later on in the episodes, you'll get a known of other characters such as Luke's brother, Sam, who's like in a mental institution, which you'll find later about that. They dive more into the mystery, like what the woods are and everything.
Yeah.
But I want to talk again more about just the writing on these characters. Like for one, like especially the one Emma, who was Marie's roommate. They could have
Tiny Termite.
Yeah, he is as what was it? It was called. So was it called Tiny Kate or whatever, or Tiny Cat?
I think like Tiny Termite, something like that. Basically, like the name she gave herself for her show, that she does with her ability to shrink. Which, finding out how she does that, yeah.
Little Cricket, that's the name. Little Cricket.
Little Cricket. Thank you.
Yeah. And they could have easily made her the annoying like roommate, college roommate, whatever. But they went way more deeper, especially when they introduce her mother. I thought that was just it's real. This show tackles mental health, tackles high expectations of yourself. It tackles eating disorders, purging and all things like that. It deals with drugs. People at party doing drugs and everything. It deals with
acceptance.
And then it also deals with acceptance, transgenderism, all these things. Like what you think that all these things just saying it all blanket statement, like, oh, this is a woke BS, whatever. But the way they do it, about all the like Marvel and DC and other like shows and properties that get a lot of flack for woke stuff, the boys do it, but they make a joke out of it just because, like, even especially the Vought, corporation saying, yeah, we got to hire this person. Like, okay, we can get a black woman, or actually, no, if it's a black, gay, lesbian woman, maybe we can do that, or that'd be more appealing. Like, they're playing into it, and I was like, so you really can't get offended. Like, wait, what's this woke BS? Like, I see what you did here.
Just don't even with it. Just don't even with what y'all gonna say about it. All right.
But it's like but I'm saying I think it broadens also the perspective because again, it's like on face value, you think you would not be interested in it. But then but then when you're watching, like especially in episode 3, when it comes to like Jordan, with the relationship with his parents and stuff, with the relationship with their parents and everything, again, like I thought that was even if you weren't transgender, like there was still like something you could still relate to on that. The same thing with Emma and her mother, like over like an OCD mother, or things like that, or things like that have actually shown that passed down toxic behavior or traits, like teaching her how to purge and and all that stuff like that. Like that's come on, like that is relatable, but it's just the realness of it, and I appreciate what they were doing with that. Because again, it's just not just staying as just one dimensional and everything. Like this, like when you see Jordan, she's a person like, I'm just trying to put my head down and just trying to make sure I'm excelling in school. Which also, you also forget that I know you focus on the identity part, but she's also they are also like Asian. Like, Asian
Mhm.
families are very strict on education, and so she have this thing where she's shut off and like doesn't care about Marie or other people. She just care about her own ranking and everything what you want to do, and that is very prevalent in terms of Asian communities with that of just rejecting emotion, and just just in focusing on academics and all that stuff. But then you have going to the big guy here, the Schwarzenegger. You
Yeah,
have Golden Boy,
Golden Boy.
which is the pressure of being number
Mhm.
one. Like, come on, like trying to, you have all this, you just star student, and everything like that, but also, they bring you up just also they can bring you down, and you have a breaking point because we all do. Like,
Mhm.
I think that was just fascinating what they were doing with that. But yeah, but I just asked, like, what you thought about that?
Well, I mean, like in what they've been doing so far, especially with characters like Jordan Lee, like Golden Boy, especially Golden Boy in a sense, it's like, yeah, they're basically like, you could be the next Homelander, basically. Like you could be even bigger than Homelander kind of stuff. That type of pressure, especially when you know what he's dealt with family wise, what he's dealt with, just again, with all that pressure being put on him, at some point, you're going to break from that type of stuff. Like, not everyone is able to deal with it or at least able to handle it. And you could definitely see, especially when we go more into his backstory and the stuff with his brother within episode 2 and episode 3. Yeah, you could definitely feel that pressure on characters like him, on characters like Jordan, who feel like they need to be perfect just to be able to freaking live a life. Like, again, I don't give a damn if some people are gonna say like, oh, this shit's woke. I don't give a damn. Like, this is exactly how life is sometimes, and it's incredible that the show is tackling these sort of subjects.
And I gotta give it to you. Say this with this is that this is to me in terms of storytelling they're doing surpassing what Marvel and DC have just been doing recently. And the issue is not the source. It's like regardless of the source material, it's the writing of these characters, and that you instantly made me just be attached to them like in less than 5 or 10 minutes just watching them.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, like and then not to also spoiler episode 4, but every single episode there's a point where it's like, okay, I need to see the next episode. Which like you see my wife, she's like, I need to see episode, I need to see the next one, I need to see the next one, whatever. But and that's the testament again, just in terms of you wanting more, the writing of this, and then instead of saying, is it a filler episode? No, it's not. Like at least the first 3, are not filler episodes, and then we're gonna get we have 9 in total. But again, it just
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you, it just like and still to the writing of the boys too. It's like again, it's frustrating because again, it's like I just wish that in terms of Marvel and DC, they just take a little bit more creative approach in terms of the writing of their characters and not just kind of just doing shortcut and just surface level. Like we've seen things like these before. You can't just be doing these comic book storylines or storytelling like the way you used to. It's like, and they understand like the boys, Invincible right now are your top, 2 superhero shows or properties right now. I mean, not movie wise, but you understand what I mean. But like rating wise, it's knocking off the par. So it's like, and we're still waiting what 2 years, almost 2.5 years, waiting for Invincible, and it still holds up today. Like, and we only got 1 season. But we got like, so yeah, anyway, not to shot on Marvel, whatever, because we're gonna talk about that later. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
or in another show. But yeah, man, I just want to shout out then to Gen V that this was again a fantastic introduction to these new characters. I'm fully invested into it. I can't wait, for the next episode I get to see. And I just get a shout out to Amazon, shout out to these guys, the writers of these shows. Like it is and for me on an emotional stance, it's just like I've actually gone through some of these things that these characters have gone through, are going through as we're watching them, and I know it's not only telling in a respectful way, it's telling it in a raw way. It's like this is reality. Even then, in things that these people wrestle, regardless of whether you accept it or not, because again, you're still dealing with all these characters not accepting each other. Making mistakes because they're closed off and reserved. And by doing that, you're pushing them away. And you're like, I'm sorry I was an ass. I'm sorry X, Y, this has happened to me. Or, hey, I'm wrestling with this thing, but I don't want to share my emotions to you. So I'm going to act like I'm okay until I have a breaking point. Golden Boy, hey, parent, you're a first generation college student, or hey, your dad or your mom was the top highest student, and now here we got legacy in this university. So you have the pressure of holding that mantle and surpassing it. All this stuff, right? Again, that's anybody can take notes from it. And I just to me it just felt real. Like I'm like and for young adults, I'm so happy like you guys get to see this because this is a story for y'all to see. Yes, there's raunchiness, there's craziness, there's things I have never seen before. I thought I would see,
Things I wish I could unsee.
right. So but yeah, no, this was just fantastic though. But shout out to the show though. But that's our discussion on in terms of Gen V. The next episode will be coming on Friday on Amazon Prime. So make sure you guys go get your subscriptions up and everything. I know I gotta renew mine and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, guys. But on to the next topic. We're gonna be going into out of the world of the boys and into the world of the MCU. And that's our next subject. What's new with the MCU? Yeah, I like that. Anyway, y'all. So next topic here is before we get into more in terms of movie news and stuff. There's a lot of shows in development. In Disney Plus. And yes, we got the writer strike and the which has now been over, but we're still in the SAG strike, which is still going in strong. You see all report.
They had a conversation about it today, but they're gonna have another conversation about it pretty soon. Just got that alert not that long ago.
Yeah, again, we are in solidarity with all in terms of actors and writers, in terms of what they're negotiating in a fair deal, and good thing that they have the WGA and AMTP able to reach an agreement with the studios, and now we're just waiting patiently for in terms of actors and SAG-AFTRA to actually get through that deal and make sure to get their terms and conditions met as well. But as you know, we have a lot of shows in development are still going to be going back into the writing boards now. Now writers are now going back to writing scripts for episodes, shows, movies, etc. Right? And for Marvel, there's a lot of things that have been in development, which personally I think will not get made after the last few outings of Disney Plus in the assembly line of rollout. And there was a show that was announced. If you guys remember WandaVision, there's a character called Vision in WandaVision, and he went through a lot of trials and tribulations in that show. But at the end of the day, unlike some certain characters, in comics, this one got whitewashed, literally. But you know what I mean. But yeah, Vision became White Vision, and this character actually was he left the show, or at the end of the show, going somewhere we don't know where, right? And we didn't know what was his next outing. Is he coming back? Is he going to be in another movie? Nothing. But then we heard some rumors that they're actually going to be greenlighting a Vision Quest storyline, right? And those of you guys know what Vision Quest, that is a storyline in the comics where Vision, after he basically got his entity of the mind basically separated from him, but now he's into this new form, his organic form. But now he has rejected a lot of emotion, and all the heart and the feelings of Vision what we got before, it's gone, and more of the still type of droid thing is still there. But now at the end of WandaVision, you see him, he's back to regular self, and we're basically going to get a Vision Quest show and see his journey to him coming back to who he used to be or whatever, right? But apparently, there have been suggestions that this show will probably never get made. It probably got canceled. So the writers that are attached to the show have gotten basically the WGA writers have a list of shows that they're currently writing episodes and scripts for and everything like that, right? And Vision Quest used to be on there prior to the strike. After that, you can see that we got a few images that the list that the Vision Quest was actually removed from the actual list of these writers from the Writers Guild of America West members. So let me give you this quick right here. I'm trying to let me see if I can share my screen here. Copy image address right here. Yeah, as you can see here. So you see the project here, which is Agatha Darkhold Diaries, which is the new Agatha Harkness show, which has got over 50 million new titles of this show. Agatha, Coven of Chaos, The House of Harkness, Agatha. Now we got the newest one, which is called Agatha Darkhold Diaries. Hopefully this will be the last title change. Probably not. But again, you can see there's no list for Vision Quest whatsoever. So there's no show for Vision in this at all. So that basically led to believe that a lot of people think, oh, wait, this show is probably going to get canceled. So Jay King, what is your thoughts on this, thinking that Vision Quest that was supposed to probably get made is now being removed from the writer schedule?
I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't know. I know that there's going to 100% be like a lot of reshuffling after this writer strike, and once the actor strike like now that the writer strike is over, they can work on product they can work on products, like at least writing wise. I know right now they're probably working in a stage of just reshuffling everything, so by the time the actor strike is over, they can get back to stuff. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff that they're taking into consideration, as well as thinking about, okay, do we want this or do we not want this? So I'm not going to say that it's canceled or that it's not going to happen, period. It could still happen, just maybe they're not working on it at this exact moment. It could still happen until we get an official listing of the next few projects that we don't know about yet. I'm not going to say it's canceled. I'm going to just say to be determined.
Yeah, I'm saying this right now. There's going to be, after this writer strike and this actor strike is over, there are going to be a lot of projects that Marvel announced that is not going to get made. I guarantee you. So for those of you guys who remember, there was a whole bunch of freaking shows that got announced, even in the rumor mill. We were getting a Wonder Man show with Black Manta, that actor. He's Yaha Madu Mateen, the social justice Candyman. You know him. All that. Dr. Blackman. Dr. Manhattan. Excuse me. Yeah. So he's been in many different properties. He's getting a show called Wonder Man.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ironheart, which has already been shot, which I know that's going to come out.
That's still going to happen.
Yeah. We got of this new Young Avengers type show that I think that didn't have a title, but Elise was in discussions talking about with the young Wiccan and Speed and all that stuff like that. I forgot what was it called. Where I have the list right here. So what it called, the Children Crusade. Like, there's a lot of things that would have not been confirmed currently right now, but again, there's just open discussions right here, and I have an article here from comicbook.com, and I'm gonna read it right now. Just gonna give me 1 second. Boom, right here. And thank you guys. If you're just stopping by, this is Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. We're talking about the news that the Vision Quest show might be canceled, and that a lot of Disney Plus shows are soon about to be removed from schedule. If not, we're probably in the process of doing so, or maybe this just might be rumors. We will know shortly. But this is an article I'm reading here. This is from, excuse me, let's back up here. Oh, there we go. So the latest Vision Quest show updates suggest that Disney Plus series may have been scrapped, but hope remains because the story could end up being merged with an adaptation of the Children Crusade. Since Bob Iger returned as Disney CEO, the executive has pulled back on spending and reduced the level of content being made for streaming. This is the comments that he made about, quantity over quality, which I agree wholeheartedly about this. There's been an overarching number of Disney Plus shows that have been just coming out and just kind of been just thrown out there and actually thought through. Not saying there were some good moments or anything like that, but still, there were still some things that I wish they would have done a little bit better in terms of making sure these shows were more cohesive. Again, making sure that these shows were made of really, really good quality. But Bob Paycheck, or I call him Paycheck, but Chapek went on and hence when Marvel Cinematic Universe began expanding on television on basically a rat race. The Vision Quest is among the TV shows still to be on the way, though with us going from getting half a dozen Disney Plus projects each year, perhaps only one or two. When and where will there be time to tell a former Avengers story in this whole multiverse saga? Because again, we don't know where Vision's going to be. We don't know where, anything like that. WandaVision showrunner Jack Schaefer no longer has Vision Quest listed on her WGA directory credits, though Agatha Darkhold Diaries, which has been updated with the title, still remains. While she was set to take charge of the show as, basically a head writer, other writers have similarly removed it from their pages, leading to speculation that this spinoff about the White Vision might have been scrapped. So, but basically, what they're saying, possibly it might just be wrapped around this new story of the Children Crusade. For those of you guys who know what the Children Crusade are, it's basically a storyline headlined by Wiccan and Speed and Young Avengers that involves Wanda and everything like that in there. But it's basically, quest of finding, Wiccan, Speed, and also Wanda and everything like that. There's a whole conflict that happened in there. But really, the main characters is the intact family of WandaVision, Billy, Tommy, White Vision, and Scarlet Witch. Which,
well, I mean, like White Vision wasn't a part of it. It was like a different type of vision. But yeah, basically, Children's Crusade. I can definitely see what they're kind of doing with that, because like Children's Crusade was basically the Young Avengers searching for Scarlet Witch who went missing.
Right.
This might be like a different where instead they're searching for White Vision and also maybe Wanda, since we haven't seen her since Doctor Strange 2.
Right. Yeah, because at least what we heard reports about this, that in the show, Agatha, that we're gonna basically get a young Billy, which I think is confirmed. We're basically gonna get a Wiccan in there, and then there's also gonna be a bunch of witches in that show. But with that, there's also rumors that we're probably get to see Wanda in there again, possibly at the end of the show, or at least get confirmation of where she is. And we know she's not dead, but where is she? But let me put this right here. Boom. Like where she is, because again, like this show, I thought WandaVision, I thought was still a great show. For what it's worth, in the first Marvel Disney Plus show, and I think wasn't a failure by any means. I thought it was a good show. But again, and Agatha was a big, highlight out of that. So she's getting her own show, and we're gonna see Wiccan, her son, as older Billy, and everything like that. But again, this would probably be a next continuation of that story. But it's still also wondering, like, where is this heading to? Like, is it heading to another movie, another show? Like, what's going into with this? There's reports about another Doctor Strange and all this stuff, right? Again, none confirmation, and with this whole new with the SAG after strike and the writer strike, things are now being delayed. So now this whole Marvel slate at the moment right now is kind of left ambiguous at this point. Like certain projects, probably will not be made. Blade in production hell right now. We don't even know. Avengers King Dynasty, is that even going to be removed because of the whole Jonathan Major situation? We still don't know. Still, my most anticipated movie of next year still is Deadpool 3 by any means. Again, after that, I don't know where we're heading to, which is why I'm excited for Loki, because there's rumors that it's going to be TVA involved in Deadpool 3. So, again, Marvel right now is still left being very ambiguous. I don't know, but I just want to ask you, Jay King, before we get to our next topic, what's your thoughts on this in terms of like, now that we're in this going back into the writer's room and everything, that hopefully to get the formulate, okay, how are we going to move forward in a more efficient way? Because we've had some bumps in the road, and then the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years right now with phase 4 going to phase 5.
I think I'm gonna put this. Basically, I'm pretty sure that after the Marvels later this year, and then I'm pretty sure we'll still get Deadpool 3, maybe just a slightly off time, but it'll still most likely happen next year or something like that. But I'm pretty sure after those come out, and who knows, maybe even after Captain America 4, it's definitely going to be a huge state of like just figuring out. It's basically almost in a sense of like how, even though it wasn't intentional, 2020 was basically a quiet year, that next year for the most part will most likely be a quiet year in terms of content for them to just take the time to think, okay, what do we actually want to do? How are things going to end up going towards how we want them to by the end of phase 5, going into phase 6 with the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? Are there some things that we want to keep? Are there some things that we're still sticking with, like, stuff that they hadn't had a chance to film yet or not? Are there still things we want to keep? Are there still things that we want to change? How do we want to go about this? This is basically their time to be like, okay, how are we going? We've lost a lot of fans over phase 4 and phase 5. And while we've had a lot of good moments, such as, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki Season 1, What If, Shang-Chi, No Way Home, a lot of good moments that happened in between phase 4 and so far within phase 5. We definitely lost a lot of fans. So it's like, how are we going to, pick ourselves up out of this, not smoldering rut, but like pick us up and get the fans interested again, have them have an idea of what's going on, so that way they don't feel like their time is wasted anymore.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that's a fair point. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below about Marvel. Certain shows are probably going to be canceled, since that Vision Quest might presumably probably be canceled. Hasn't been no wide announcement about Vision Quest or anything like that, but again, it's probably be the first of a few shows from Disney. Be like, do we really need this show? We still got What If, we still got Marvel Zombies and all that stuff like that that's scheduled to come. But again, a lot of things are just kind of brushed under the rug. Like, where is direction of Marvel right now? So let us know in the comment section down below. All right. So the next one going into still Marvel is going to one of my favorite topics, or at least the films of next year, is Deadpool 3. Now, there have been certain pictures that have been coming out. It's football season, y'all, and also there's a lot of in America, and people, home of the brave, land of the free, and all that stuff. Football brings us together, and it brings a lot of people together, right? Well, apparently, there's been some rumors that a certain pop star, country girl, first starting out, then she's writing stories about, her breakups and stuff, which all touched the hearts of many different teenage girls in America, and dudes, myself included. I felt it, man. When you have bad blood, you know what song to sing, right? But there's been some reports that Miss Taylor Swift might be in Deadpool 3. And you're like, what? What's Taylor Swift doing in a Marvel movie? It's let alone Deadpool.
There's a reason why a lot of people are now thinking that again. And as you said, it's football season. And recently, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, the writer of Deadpool 3, as well as Ryan's wife, were all they're all at a game. And there was a certain photo taken with them with Taylor Swift. And you're just like, well, that's convenient.
Yeah, as you can see here, there's a lot of people in there. A lot of people. You see Blake Lively, you see Ryan Reynolds, you see Hugh Jackman on the side here. I don't see don't have the picture right here, but onto his right, Hugh Jackman's right, you have the director of Deadpool 3. Was it? And you see a lot of people in here. But it's funny because in the football game, you guys can watch it. There's a lot of people, at least personally, was shouting out Taylor Swift fans, because this is probably your first NFL game you ever watched. And after he said that, there was a huge spike in ratings, or people on Twitter saying, "Yep, I'm watching the NFL. It's my first time watching this." By the way, I love Taylor Swift. But yeah, got Taylor Swift though. But this led to believe that this is in New York, by the way, to my knowledge, and that everybody's here from Deadpool 3. And then so it's kind of rumors, and there's still rumors earlier that there's lots of it going to be in Deadpool 3, right? And you have, Elektra, we have, Hugh Jackman coming back. We're going to probably get some more people from the old X-Men regime. We have Sabretooth coming back from the X-Men Origins. We have everybody in this month, right? But people think, hey, Taylor Swift might be in it. Well, after this picture, everyone thinking, hey, she might.
They're thinking she might be Dazzler.
Dazzler, who's a pop singer. which we actually got a shot of a Dazzler in a previous X-Men movie, only brief cameo.
Yeah, briefly.
Right, but yeah, nothing there and there. But Dazzler, right? So and every time you think of in any X-Men movie or whatever, any comic book thing, people think Dazzler, they think Taylor Swift, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a very long time. People thinking that she could be Dazzler at any point back when the Fox movies, and now with this.
Right. So
okay, seriously, Marcus, it's stop calling it that. Stop calling it that.
Yeah, what you call it in the Kansas City game? Yeah, I don't know.
No, not that. The MCU part.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But the Ryan Reynolds, shout out to Marcus though. Basically, he said comment saying Ryan Reynolds also knows for business purposes because he's a part owner of UK British League Rexman, and because it is a Big Apple, is the marketing brand of America. Yeah, absolutely, I understand. But again, he also part owner of Mint Mobile and all that stuff like that. So,
can't tell you how many Mint Mobile commercials I keep seeing.
But they're working though. They're working.
Mm-hmm.
But again. Also, shout out to my man Alex in the building. Hope the twins are doing very well. Shout out to Alex, man, new father.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are not wanting her in this film.
Why? Well, I mean, like I don't understand. Like you see Taylor Swift. You want Taylor Swift in there, right? Like, I mean, of course. I mean, come on now. I mean,
listen. You
listen,
know what?
I don't know. I think Taylor Swift being in Deapool 3 would be a great idea.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Bro, you already know what's gonna happen the minute, like, if she is, and if this isn't just a coincidence, if she is in the film, it's already gonna be about, oh, they trying to bring in all the females on our Deadpool movie. Get the
emotional damage.
Basically, they'll all be in emotional damage because they think it's just agenda shit. But hey, if she shows up, okay. If she doesn't, okay. I just want a good representation of Dazzler is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, if it does happen.
Yeah, like if we need anything in this movie, we need Dazzler. We need Dazzler up in this mug. Because like we need, like, I've been waiting for Dazzler for so long in my life, and I'm just saying, listen, if they mess up Dazzler, I'll probably walk out that theater.
I mean, knowing this writer, that's not gonna happen, but
anyway, yeah, but that's not here. So shout out to Taylor Swift, making record sales and all stuff in this box office stuff. By the way, shout out to Beyonce. Yeah, she's gonna be getting her concert going to theaters though, but I don't know if it's gonna break records like Taylor Swift though, because that was ridiculous. But anyway, shout out to Beyonce. But now I think what's anything left from MCU, I think. Anything left from MCU? I think that's it for today. That's it for today.
I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, you already brought it up, like, on Saturday, but we got the confirmation that X marks the spot, all right.
Oh, yes. That the writers, X-Men, that Marvel Studios are currently looking for writers for an X-Men movie. Now, again, we briefly touched about that this past Saturday. But Jake King, I want to know, what's your thoughts on the fact that they now does not know if and or buts Marvel is currently looking for X-Men writers for a film.
All I'm saying is, when it comes to that, I'm excited. Like, I'm glad that because a lot of people are like, okay, the X-Men are trickling in there. We've had people confirmed as mutants in the MCU, but they're like, when is an X-Men project going to be announced? Because we have Fantastic Four announced, but it's like, when is the X-Men project going to be announced? And so now we finally have a confirmation. And all I'm saying is, a lot of people are, a lot of people are going to be speculating, what's the lineup going to be? What era of the X-Men is it going to be? Is it going to be the originals? Is it going to be the more iconic ones with Storm and Wolverine? Is it going to be some of the recent stuff, like with the Krakoa era, if you've been reading that with the comics and all that stuff? But whatever they do, I just want a good storyline. With the X-Men, I want a good movie. It doesn't have to forcibly say in your face that it's in the MCU. But of course, some nods in there wouldn't hurt, since this is going to be their first film connected to other things other than mutant stuff. So I just want a good story. And whoever writes it, I hope is a good writer that is a fan of, because you've seen what happens when fans of, these of certain characters do something and it turns out great. Looking at you, One Piece.
Yeah, like again, this is a lot of things they're writing on, bring X-Men to the MCU right now. But again, just like I said, much as we got X-Men trying to bring them to the MCU and stuff like that, you got to focus on one, how mutants are going to be introduced in the first place, and also when is Deadpool 3 coming out. I'm sorry, I'm going to be saying that until I get a motherfucking trailer. I don't care. I'm saying that, and when we get confirmation, back to these set photos, make a deal on the West Coast. Do it now. Do it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that once the actor strike is over, it's immediately back to filming, and we'll probably get like a confirmation like a few months after the fact.
Like seriously, when this strike, I want this strike to go away just like a snap. I want the writers back. I want the actors back. I need snap photos, leaks, all that stuff. Anyway, I just need some context on this. Anyway, but yeah, but that's but again, I think until they be looking for writers on this, I think again we need to understand. Next Comic-Con is gonna be very, very pivotal. Hopefully, I'll be attending. And there again, like I did last this year, and actors and everyone in the studios, and we can come back and actually get some real meat, right? And direction. But I think again, when this comes out, which is again pivotal because now we have Loki coming out this Thursday, which you guys make sure you guys have your Disney Plus subscriptions and everything. I know you probably got notification they're increasing the prices on that mug, so make sure you save the extra 99 cents on that, whatever after tax. We got we skipped the government shutdown recently. Praise God, literally hours before it shut down. So, but I know you can scrap up a little bit just for these 6 episodes are coming out. So yeah, you can do that. But anyway, but yeah, Loki season 2 will be coming out this Thursday. But till then, we'll be giving our reviews and speculation, all that stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it. Loki was still my favorite, one of my favorite Disney Plus shows, if not the favorite, only because of the consistency and the wovenness connectivity that this show has had. That at least gave some direction to the MCU after all the chaos and convoluted storytelling that's been happening since Loki. So yeah, and
who knows? Who knows? They might do it again. They
might. Again, I'm not. Listen, I have hope. Again, Loki. Like I thought, will stop. The concept of Loki, I thought was really well. And again, I really like the outcome of that show. Jonathan Majors thought the good. I love Sylvie. Really love Sylvie. I love Owen Wilson as Morbius or Mobius. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And now we're getting Ki-Hu Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Academy Award winning actor. There's everything they're adding onto the show. I'm loving it. It's nothing I'm concerned about. What's just been going on recently, just in terms of after. And it's kind of getting to the point, like, how do we get here? Like I remember like the 3 a.m. clock at night, I'm watching. That's when me and Jake actually first started, connecting with everyone was Loki. Like this dude called me like in the middle of the night around like 3 a.m. in the morning after the episode dropped. We're watching Akasan's late Twitch streams, watching the episodes and everything. And I'm doing my review when I first started my channel. And my first show I ever reviewed for Marvel was Loki. So, yeah, so it's coming full circle. Look how far
full circle moment.
Yeah, but anyway, y'all, we're going to just have a short break, and then we're going to get to the meat of tomorrow. We're going to have the episode for AHSOKA, but till then, here's a short break, and we'll be right back.
I'm Miss Minutes, and it's my job to catch you up, so let's not waste another minute. Settle in, sharpen your pencils, and check this out.
back, y'all. This is the Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. I'm your host, Jedi Mike, and with my co-host Jay King, and we're here talking about everything going on in the world of movies, but also we covered, Marvel covered things with The Boys or Gen V, which is on Amazon Prime, and a bunch of other topics, stuff like that. But now we get into the main topic of the show,
AHSOKA.
Now, you guys, you have not noticed, you've seen our channel. We've been on a AHSOKA train for like the last 7 or 8 episodes now, or 7 episodes now at this point. It's now getting to the point that we're getting to the finale. Now, some people think this show is some of the best Star Wars we've gotten. Some people thinking this is just another piece of woke trash and all that stuff. But with all that being said, Jay King, before we get into our speculations and everything, just ask, what was just your thoughts just in terms of this overall season and what we gotten?
My
bad.
It's okay. Well, the first thing I'll say is we definitely got the Force on our side. Oh my God! For y'all who don't.
Hold up. Let me share my screen right now. Stop screen sharing. Let me open this. I'm gonna see if I can share a YouTube video. Because man, I got blasted on TikTok anyway. Anyway, you guys not follow me on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, JediMike7_YT for YouTube on TikTok. But yeah, I actually liked last
week's episode.
Last week's episode for the most part. There were some issues and everything. But one thing, I had a big problem. And it's not that big, like, hey, you know what? I can sleep at night, whatever. But I thought this was just ridiculous. I'm going to show you all this right now. And also, viewer discretion is advised. The following a short TikTok you're about to watch contains strong language, which may be offensive to some audience. Yeah. Let me show this stuff. Guys, you need to watch this episode of Ahsoka because this scene really here pissed me the fuck off. Watch this. What the fuck? This is some bullshit, man. Listen, this dude, I have not seen this nigga like in 5 years. Also, this dude come out looking like Jesus, and all of a sudden he's like, I don't need a lightsaber. I got the Holy Spirit, bitch. This is some bullshit. Look at this, man. Nah, man. Some bullshit. Guys, you need to watch this episode of Ahsoka.
Oh my God, yeah, that part was for all of us who have been waiting for Ezra to pick up his lightsaber, this man said, no, I got the Holy Ghost with me. I don't need no lightsaber. Yeah, now I had some time to think about it, whatever, but look, it's not the end of the world, whatever. But I was just like, I just want to have one moment with Ezra with the lightsaber. Well, I'm hoping we get it tomorrow. Yeah, or something like that. That was all. But again, I understand it. We've seen Luke, been through same situation, and for him having the green lightsaber, if you know your Jedi colors, lightsaber colors, green represents in terms of the Jedi Counselor. Jedi Counselor, I believe that represents green, which is more tied to people who are strong in the Force. So some of your strongest Force users, Luke, Yoda, have green lightsabers, and so does Ezra. So there's no pushback on that because that is canon to the actual storyline and everything like that. And in fact, that Ezra has a stronger connection to the Force now that I guess him being more isolated, that instead of just resorting to hand-to-hand combat and all stuff like that, he has more tied to nature, tied to animals and everything. So that's his more strong, connection to the Force. So it made sense why. But at the first initial thing, like in the combat of it all, I'm like, listen, she's a Mandalorian. She can hold her own, right? Yeah.
And And just like with that, it's like, no, do your thing. Yeah, just do your thing, please. Don't do this BS. Just whatever. But no, and I already knew this was gonna happen, and it's okay. It's okay. But aside from all that, one thing we'll go into the episode. Just start with.
Right, but well, hold on. I still need to share my thoughts. I was just doing the joke, but I still need to share my
Oh,
thoughts.
my bad. Apologize.
It's fine. I had to do that joke though. I had to. But basically, I'm still enjoying this series. I'm still, again, longtime Rebels fan, longtime Clone Wars fan. I have been enjoying the heck out of this. I am still enjoying the heck out of this, and I cannot wait for tomorrow's finale. The characters are exactly who they should be, and if anyone's been like, "Oh, this some woke," blah, 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 like what any of that BS that people would be saying, like I get the argument for some people saying, "Oh, I hadn't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, so I don't know, I can't fully connect." I completely understand that, and I recommend watching both because they're both amazing shows. I understand that, but people saying like, is like, so there literally can't be a female character who has a show titled after her. Like, even if there's like, hell, I haven't even counted, but like the number between like male and female characters, that's really not even the point. The point is just to continue to tell Ahsoka's story and to continue the story from Rebels. This isn't an agenda. Like, hell, there's not even been any moments like that at all. So it's like, cut the crap, seriously. But basically, still enjoying the show. I cannot wait for how the show ends, especially since we know this is going to lead to a Star Wars film that'll be the conclusion of this and of The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. I can't wait to see exactly how this ends and how that might lead into this, regardless of whatever other Star Wars Disney Plus series we have left that would connect to this. I can't wait to see how this specifically ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because again, like, I think some of the criticisms they had with this show, and some of it, I think there is some merit to it. Like, there are certain emotional beats to, like, from this season. There's something I can pick out that I was a little bit annoyed with, like, that I was wanting to get more emotion out of certain characters, but I didn't. But then, like, to some of them, it made sense why they were kind of the way they were emotionally or how the performance they were giving, just because of where the character was at that time, right? But yeah, I still had some just issues in terms of some of the performances and stuff. Certain moments, again, like reunions, like especially with last week episode, I had an issue with, which is how Sabine was reunited with Ezra, and just kind of just not, like that transparent. Even in this episode, like, so y'all, how'd you get here? Yeah, don't worry about it. Let's just get up here. Like, yeah, I'm finally going home. Like, no, he's gonna die for our sins tomorrow. That's okay.
okay, stop that. We don't know if it's gonna happen. It might happen. It might not happen.
No, if you read your Bible, what was the first day? Sunday.
Look,
What's the second day? Monday.
Stop.
On the third day.
Stop.
Third day. Tuesday.
Stop
What do you
it.
do?
Stop it. Listen, I know
he rose on the third day.
Listen, I
Today,
know.
y'all, get your bread and get your wine or any type of thing, juice, whatever that represents the blood of Ezra Bridger. The space Jesus, so where he can die, for our sins we have done across the galaxy, and we can repent and truly be sanctified within the Force, i.e., the Holy Spirit. Can I get an amen?
Listen, I know he looks like Jesus, but calm down.
No. Was it? Oh, let me find this one. I saw someone meme like this with Obi.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I saw this, and this was actually funny. Here. Y'all see this? Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Yeah, because you see on the left, you see you have what you have on the right, you have the mainstream Jesus, what we've been taught to his children, that was white, which is not true. And then you have the left one, which is more darker skin, like, more realistic type of version we thought Jesus was when he was, when he's on this earth. But anyway, you see historically accurate Jesus on the left, Ezra Bridger, and we got Jesus according to mainstream media on the right, which is Obi-Wan. But yes, so that's just giving y'all some Bible knowledge, y'all, from Jedi Mike, making sure y'all stay blessed.
Okay. Listen, we don't know what's going to happen with Ezra. Look, it could go either way. It could go that Ezra dies to help Ahsoka and Sabine get off that planet and back to the main galaxy. It could end with all of them getting back, and then Ezra meets up with Luke for the first time. Who knows? It literally anything goes at this point when it comes to this finale.
Yeah, because like, I did like the reunion they had here with Ezra right here. This was nice.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
But this was the emotion I was wanting for, not in these small moments though. But aside from that, as you're seeing slowly, before we get into one of the main meets, like we haven't got to Thrawn yet. But again, I like the action they had, in this scene, for what it's worth. But it then begs the question again, like there's something off about Ezra that I think we might not be realizing here. Again, like the fact that Thrawn just let them go that easily, say go find Ezra, and he possibly might be dead. I don't believe that to be just a coincidence, and Thrawn doesn't act like that. As you saw in this entire episode, that he was very methodical in terms of his tactics, in terms of as a Grand Admiral, and nothing he does is by accident. So again, when you see this, I'm just like, okay, what is he doing? There's some off for Ezra, whatever. The fact that he's just like, oh yeah, go find him. He might be dead. I don't know. As just distraction. Yeah, so I think
Thrawn is always one to play the long game. Like he doesn't do anything for an accident. And for those who saw last week's episode, like now you see why many of us who watched Rebels and read the original Timothy Zahn novel know him as the heir to the Empire, one of the greatest threats. He may not be a big fighter, which he kind of is, but like may not be a big fighter, but tactical wise, like this man, he plays the long game.
Right. And then with that, like, we found out that also that Thrawn is getting aid from the Night Sisters. We don't know what in terms of like they provided. Also, he asked every information he knew about Ahsoka, because we never actually got Ahsoka meeting Thrawn ever in terms of canon, in my knowledge. There's like this is the first time they actually are meeting each other, which is someone who had extensive history with both Anakin Skywalker and someone who had extensive history with Darth Vader, when he actually knew who Darth Vader was in the lore of Star Wars and everything. And when he got the news,
that one moment where he somehow didn't know but realized who Ahsoka's master was.
Right, which I don't know how that's going to be used against her, other than just understanding who she is. But again, this is definitely something that's going to be really interesting to see in this finale. I do anticipate, though, that probably, I don't want to say be a letdown, but I have had my feelings hurt before in a lot of things with Disney Plus in general, not just with Star Wars. So why I'm kind of just being hesitant, I'm like, you know what, I can just take episode 4, episode 5, and just hold it into my memory, my childhood, and I just leave it at that. But I want this to see, but if it doesn't, whatever, then we just go from where we are, and then just accept it, right? Some things don't last forever, and hey, hopefully learn from their mistakes and move forward. And us as fandom, we hate on it, crap on it, but then we'll watch the next thing you drop because we're supposed to, and we're going to, and then we'll complain about viewership dropping and all that stuff, but we still watch it. And we'll complain about viewership and everything, wokeness, but we still watch it. We make our content based off of it because, hey, we still love Star Wars, but we hate Star Wars. And it's okay. We just rinse, cycle, repeat everything we do, because this stuff is not going to last forever. Same thing with Marvel. All these things are going to go away, just like, as right now, J. King is, he's still on the rise of it. For me, I already accept, MCU has kind of just been, the magic of it has been gone and stuff like that. And it's okay. I've lived, through times where the good days, the glory days are gone, and that's okay. That's life. There's time that people like Western movies, and and got picked on it, and then that stuff was at the height of film media with Clint Eastwood and all stuff, and now it's out the window, and you rarely see a Western movie every few times a year or so, not as much as they used to, and that's happened. And you have to understand that there's one thing about being critical and being objective, and one thing where you just kind of just like just making something out of nothing. And as a film critic, I have a responsibility to be objective as possible by giving my subjective opinion. I know it might sound a little bit difficult or sound kind of confusing, but in a way that I have to apply some type of grace or understanding when I'm watching something. But at the same time, I have a job to do, and if things are not adding up, I'm going to say it. But again, also, I believe that with this show, from aside from certain things that episodes I probably did not like or moments in the show, I still think again this was a step up from previous uh, Star Wars shows. I definitely enjoyed it better than season 3 of Mandalorian. Definitely enjoyed it better than Book of Boba Fett by far. And so yeah, so Andor is still in a different realm to a point where it's like it's still good quality, but I don't know, it's weird for me to compare it to this. But then we're gonna get the Skeleton Crew and see where we go from there. We got the Star Wars Acolyte show, but apparently the person who's the showrunner of that is woke feminist and all that stuff. So hey, we just hated on it. What's the whatever? But there's lightsabers and ninjas and stuff like that, so we might actually like it, right? Only time will tell. But just want to ask you, UJ King, that was your prediction in terms of where we might be seeing where Ahsoka might be. Will you think people there be stranded in terms of the when Thrawn leaving, because he's gonna leave this planet? I know that for a fact.
Well, again, I don't know how much of a prediction I can make because, again, we got less than 24 hours before we'll know that answer. But I'll just say if it were up to me, I'd have it be that Thrawn gets away. It feels like, oh, we can't catch up to him now because he's gone, and then there's no way. Then somehow they find a way, either by Purgle or something, and either by Purgle or some other way, and they get back and the season ends with either them still in, I'm gonna just call it maximum hyperspace, the one with the way the Purgles went about it, or getting back just in time to warn them, or hell, who knows, since there's even theories that sometimes hyperspace can go through time and space, like how the theory that even though we know that the series takes place after Mandalorian season 3, that little moment with Grogu and them might have happened. Who knows? Maybe they make it back to the galaxy, but Thrawn's already like integrated in there. That would be a crazy way to end it. Like they get back, they think they are only a little bit behind Thrawn, but they get back and Thrawn already has his army raiding the galaxy. That'd be a crazy way to end it.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to end on a cliffhanger, definitely. Whether people can be happy about that or not, I'm like, that's whatever. But the one thing that we have not discussed, to me, and I think again, this is bigger plan with this, which is like this is going to be the make or break on whether this show is going to be a payoff or just a colossal failure in terms of things they set up and then they just kind of just ruin. And that's with Baylan Skoll. Now, Baylan, character we don't know little about other than his history about being a Jedi, but something different with him is that he's in search of something, but we don't know what that is. And just in terms of the acting on Ray Stevenson, shout out to him, that there's a mystery to his character that we still have not that still has not been revealed, and whether that might be him looking into the world between worlds. Since listen, the cycle of the Jedi and the rise of the Sith and the fall of the Jedi, XYZ, it just it's a cycle that happens again and again and again, and he seeks to break that cycle. But how? Even though in this timeline we already know for a fact this is going to happen again with the First Order. So it's like, what is he seeking for, especially in this planet, in this own unknown region with in the Peridia? We don't know where they're going, and he left Shin Hati by herself. We don't know if she regrouped with them or not. We'll find out in this episode, tomorrow. But again, I think there's a lot to play with him in terms of what's going here. That could change the course of Star Wars. I don't know.
I actually have a theory about that because I remember someone had pointed out that on his costume, on his wrist, there's this digital screen in, of course, the Star Wars language, and someone decoded it, and it had the names of Han, Leia, Luke, and a whole bunch of others. So potentially, especially given the vagueness we've gotten so far, Maybe he's meaning to, like, just stop the cycle by just getting rid of people on both sides, both good and evil, like ending the cycle of Jedi rising to stop a big giant threat of an empire like being over and over and over again. Just trying, he might actually want the world between worlds and go through there to actually change the course of history to one that might be better just without the likes of the Jedi or the Sith. That's my theory.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know because again, there's a lot of things in Star Wars lore that I have not got it deep into. Like I didn't get deep into Jedi Fallen Order and stuff like that. But in terms of whether it's a Sith home planet or like a understanding like the Mortis gods and all stuff like that, I don't know. Other than like the knowledge I get from Clone Wars, but there's other things like there's stuff in Jedi Fallen Order that I haven't really played that game or both of them, and actually got deep into that lore. But again, there's some things that we're going to unknown territory, which I think is going to make or break this show because it's a cool concept and we're attached to this character. And people that are fully invested in this show, this is my new favorite character in Star Wars right now, and hopefully I don't want this character to end tomorrow. I want to see him, pursue, and which probably going to mean they're going to have to recast him. But whatever this means, having the orange lightsabers, in fact, that we're not Sith and we're not Jedi, then what are we? What's something different that we've seen in Star Wars that, for me, that I wanted to be fulfilling and actually give a clear answer? And something that we're stuck. Here's the thing: we're stuck in this weird bubble where it's like we want to reject the sequel trilogy, but we can't forget about it. It was done is done. But it's whole thing about canonizing or not canonizing, retconning the sequel trilogy. I just think that you're getting into if they ever do that, it's over. In terms of all of it, because you see what's going on with Star Trek right now, where we don't care. They did that with J.J. Abrams back in 2000. Was it 2008? 2009. Was it
somewhere around there?
Yeah,
it was somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere around the J.J. Abrams, right? He did that with Star Trek, and now here we are with Star Wars, and we're thinking, you know what? Let's just retcon the sequel trilogy. No. Anything what you're gonna do, what we're doing right now, where we have 3 movies that are in discussions right now. We can have 1 movie that's gonna be concluding this story arc, that includes Ahsoka and Mandalorian and all that stuff in the timeline that we're in right now.
And then the other movie is with Rey, like continuing that sequel trilogy story. So if you'll think they're going to get rid of it, if they were going to get rid of it, why make a movie about Rey?
But again, we'll believe it when we'll see it. We'll believe it when we see it. Basically, at this point, because you say it's announced a Star Wars movie or anything, we don't believe you at this point. And Disney, it's your fault to blame on that. But again, and then we have the next film, which is with James Mangold, which is talking about the origin of the Jedi. So we got past, present, and future. Which way direction we're going, and and actually have some type of good, consistent Star Wars, because it's the Star Wars Acolyte show. That's during the High Republic era. That's like almost 100,000 years later, years earlier, before the prequels and all that stuff like that. So, but for someone like my wife who watching this show did not really like the last episode 7, what they're going to do with this finale to actually pay off, I don't know. But they need to do something. But again, the fact that we got a shout out to Hayden Christensen again, my boy in this again. I like that scene again. He mentioned Asajj Ventress, live action, and Grievous and Dooku and stuff like that. So, but the fact that also too, earlier in the episode we had 3PO show up, which as representative for Leia. Again, I thought that was really good. But again, it shows you that we're getting to a point now, like all these characters are supposed to be moving in together, but we cannot keep moving on like this and not have any type of connection to where Luke, Han, Leia, and everything is. We're going to get to a point where they're moving these stories, especially with Luke and Leia. Because Han could be in a distant story, whatever, with Ben. We don't even know if Ben's alive during this time. or haven't been born.
He might have been, but if so, he's like very young.
But yeah, but there's no confirmation about that. This is just recently after the Return of the Jedi and stuff like that. So it's like he can still be born, not be born yet, still be the same age.
I mean, not recently after, because it's like it's been at least like a good, like, I think timeline wise, especially with like everything that's happened so far with Mandalorian and all that, I think it's been like almost a good 10 years since the Return of the Jedi in this sense.
More like 3 or 5 years.
Well, I think that was around the time of the beginning of the Mandalorian, but like now I think we've gone a little bit past that.
Yeah, like 5, like 6. I mean, yeah, 5 or 6 or 7, years, whatever. Yeah. But like, it's still, it like to me is like, again, I don't want this. This is what I don't want to happen. I don't want this to be another Mandalorian season 2 when we see a CGI face. That honestly probably will take me out of this. I'm not even gonna lie. Because you're doing something where you're using nostalgia that you built off of, i.e. Clone Wars, Night Sisters, and all that stuff like that. But yet when you bring in Luke and or all this stuff like that, it's gonna be kind of a turn off to the point. Okay, it's the cheap cop out now. We're just gonna have Luke just show up in this now. Come on, or whatever. Like we need to have more of a great woven story. But again, at this point, this episode needs to hit in all cylinders and actually pay off. But again, it can probably be a cliffhanger and people can be pissed off with it. But regardless of that, I'm just looking for for tomorrow. I'm accepting this with full open arms and everything, but I just want this to be a good finale and just pay off. But if it doesn't, which most likely it probably will, just with Disney Channel, with not Disney Plus, it's gonna be either rushed and whatever. But yeah, well, hopefully we'll see. It's been 8 episodes at least. We'll see what's going on. But that will conclude in terms of this episode of Jedi Mike 7 movie news show. Thank you for my co-host Jay King for stopping by here. We will see you guys again on Saturday around 8:30 time Pacific Standard Time. But I just want to say, hey, Jay King, where can people find you?
Where else? Right here. Other than that, my socials, which will be below.
Gotcha. And you can find me here on Jedi Mike 7 movie news show, my YouTube channel here, and also on Team JVS. I'll also be dropping out interviews and stuff that I'm still editing right now. I'll be posting out there around tomorrow throughout this week. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll be giving that to you guys very, very shortly. And happy Halloween, y'all. My birthday month. Shout out to Libra season. Yeah. But yeah, y'all. Till next time, the Jedi Mike 7, Jay King. God bless y'all. Peace. We are out.
Is there anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.